Christoph Clarkson, the Jedi Dog Master, and this video is going to be really different than anything I've done before, and this is a big opportunity for people doing something that no one else has done, and I think it would be a cool opportunity for many people. And I'm going to get into all the details here, and that's going to be, do you want to be on a pod vidcast? And you've seen me, of course, with Robert Weatherwax, the last of the legendary Lassie trainers. You see me with the matriarch, and there's some other people in the pipeline, and everybody's highly skilled and knows what they're doing. Some of these people are known only in their niches, and some people are vastly unknown that I'm talking to, that I have video and I'm waiting to turn out. But this is a chance for people who are completely unknown or people who are known in a certain area to showcase themselves. Now, there's going to be some parameters for this. I'm going to cover those parameters right now. One of the things is that because the largest market, as it were, for dog training and people who are interested in dog behavior and dog training is in English, although there is a huge French market also, but most of the people are in the United States or England, Canada, and Australia, and looking at the analytics of people who watch. Of course, I'm doing things in English. I could do things in Spanish, French, or Italian, and I'm not opposed to doing that in the future, but for right now, the majority of everything has to be in English, so if you're listening to me, you probably understand that. However, I don't care where you are at in the world. This is something that's different because most people are in the United States are interviewing people that are only in the United States. I want to open that up. As I have contacts, of course, I've trained dogs from the Arctic to the jungle on 3 continents, so I know people all over the world. A lot of those people just don't want to be known outside of their area, their geographical area. But this is a chance for those people who do want to do it. So be ready that the majority of it has to be in English. We can do parts in French, Spanish, or Italian. That's not a problem, but the majority has to be in English because that's who's going to be watching, basically. And now let's get into some more specifics. I'm going to give you an email address that will be in the description and also on a subtitle on the screen. That's where you're going to send your application to see if you qualify. Now, in that application, here are the things that are vitally important, okay? I want you to be aware of all these things. That I want you to send your biographical information, how old you are, where you're from, where you were born, where you're living, what is your dog training experience, what type of dogs do you train, and what is your area of interest with dogs. Also, give me links to your videos, because some of this is you must have. If you don't have videos, you're not going to be in a discussion with me. You got to have videos. And then another thing that you're going to have to do, you're going to have to send me an outline of what you want to cover, the points that you want to talk about. There are going to be no ad hoc free form discussion type videos. That is not happening. I am not doing that. The editing time it takes to do vidcasts and podcasts is enormous. Most people don't realize that. And if you're looking at Sean Ryan or Joe Rogan, they got hugely experienced people who do all of that, and of course get paid, and they're getting paid a lot. Nobody's paying me. I have no sponsorship whatsoever for this right now. So one of the ways to tighten this up and so that you'll be coherent and know what you're talking about, you've got to send me an outline of what you want to talk about. Again, no ad hoc, no major ad-libbing. And you're going to have to include in this, you're going to have to tell me, again, who your demographics are, who you're aiming your information to, what is your goal that you want to come across in the vidcast with. What do you want to impact on? You're going to have to tell me also what are your dog training accomplishments, and that could be many different things. I'm not thinking of just a sport. As you know, I'm not opposed to sport dogs or sport dog people, but I'm not saying that's the only people who are welcome. If you're a sled dog guy, a bird dog person, doing circus tricks, I don't care. Just tell me what your accomplishments are in this application. Also, who trained you? Where did you train at? What is your educational background as far as dogs go, or any animal training for that matter of fact? As you know, I have all of that, and I've talked about it many times, and it's just part of the thing that we need to know. And also, who are your influences for your training? Who do you look to or up to as a paradigm as a dog trainer? Who's the person that has influenced you or that you aspire to become, or any of those things? Now, replay this part, all of this, because it's vitally important. I'm no ad hoc. You've got to have an outline. You've got to have videos, because I need videos for the B-roll. That's one of the things where I'm different. I'm playing B-roll videos in all the podcasts, vidcasts. This is not just audio. This is for people to watch and see things in the background. They don't always connect with what is being talked about, but it's a different dimension, and something that I'm doing that's different from everybody else. And remember that this is a channel that's dedicated to the people who have dogs that they care about, and this is a high skill dog dedicated channel that's performance based, and those are the type of people I want to showcase. I'm not looking for ideologies. There's plenty of Zach Georges and other people and Victoria Stilwell morons out there. Their training is subpar. I don't care about the ideology, I care about performance. So if you're training search and rescue dogs, there's performance, obviously right there. If you're training bomb dogs, dogs have to perform, you have to perform. That's what I care about, and I want to know about the people out there who actually have skill and performance. And remember, that's what the channel's aimed at. So if you are selected from sending in the information, if you do qualify, of course I'll contact you from the email. And be prepared, and that means you got to do the research of people in the topic that you want to talk. If whatever you select as your topic or what you want to cover, you must know that subject. You must be a subject matter expert. That means you got to know the people in it. You got to know the background, the history, the methods that are used, and also, again, be prepared to give me B-roll so that we can look at what you've doing or what you've done. Again, this is a big opportunity to showcase unknown dog trainers. It's a big opportunity to shine at a performance level, which is what I care about and what this channel is aimed at. I'm aimed at not one ideological niche, not aimed at just pet dog people, not just aimed at sport dog people, not aimed just at protection dog people. That's the thing. It's as if, here's a good analogy for people. There are people out there that you might look to if you're a baseball player. They can train baseball players, and that's who they go to. And there are people out there who are swimming idols or trainers for swimming. Okay, but beyond that, a more global thing is someone who can improve your athletic performance, your visual performance, your mental and athletic enhancement, your ability to perform. There are people who have a bigger global skill, and that's who is used basically in the Eastern Bloc countries for the Olympics originally. And because I was a professional athlete, I know all these things, so this is the best analogy. And if you don't get it, I'm sorry, but this is a thing. And what I am doing is the thing, again, with the Jedi Dog Master Challenge, is it's a global trainer skill test. It's not, okay, how good are you with retrievers? How good are you at fly ball? How good are you at agility? How good are you at IGP? That's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at how good are your actual skills with a multitude of dogs in many different pursuits, and ones that don't take thousands of dollars in performance, and that our dogs are cherry picked and card stacked so that they can do well with them. It's looking at your skill. And that is what this channel is about. So I'm not just looking for one narrow thing. If you keep looking at, for example, Kiko Pup, it's border collies and Australian shepherds and some cattle dogs, etc., for tricks. That's all. If you look at Garrett, it's agility. It's going to be border collies, right? Mainly. And if you look at flyball people, they're not many. I haven't seen many channels, but just for example, whippets and border collies. The whippets are fast, by the way. I kind of like flyball, by the way. There's a lot of things to learn from what they do. I just throwing that out there as a sidelight. But anyway, so remember that the whole point of this channel, this vidcast and podcast, is to expose people to different methods that can be out there. And it's not to explain them, not to do tutorials, not to give free training to everyone. It's to enlighten them that there are other things and that they can pursue that if they have the gumption, if they have the ability to continue on. And that's of course what we're all looking for. We're looking for people who are dedicated, and that's what I want. I wanted people who are dedicated to their dogs. It's also why I talk about people who save dogs and who have a lot of dogs. One of the things that I see are people just trying to use dogs to make money. That's not the type of people I'm interested in. I'm interested in people who deeply care about canines, and just not just dogs, but not just a domesticated dog or the undomesticated dog like my jungle dog. Not just those dogs, but all dogs: wolves, coyotes, foxes, jackals, African wild dogs, all of those Cape dogs, all of those dogs, all those canines I'm very interested in. And so you happen to have any background in that, that's fine too. I'd love to have you talk about it. So again, remember, play this back, get it, but this is a big chance, and you're going to see the email address to send your information to see if you qualify. And if you do, I'll contact you, because this is something unique. This will be totally unique, different than everything else that's out there in the dog sphere, the canine sphere, okay? All right, so Christoph Klugston, looking for people who are unique, different, and want to showcase their abilities and maybe their dogs. Now, there's control, people. There's control. There's control. He sees the squirrel. I'm going to tell him to go. Watch this. Hike! Now, there's control, people. There's control. There's control. He sees the squirrel. I'm going to tell him to go. Watch this. Hike!